all that is needed is in the human mind. There's so much potential for the human body just to wake up and start realizing that they are in a mathematical reality, that they are in a reality where they can work with angles, mathematical angles, to do good or to do harm to other individuals, that everything is following Hermetic principle. All people have to do is just slowly, and that's what I mean, slowly wake up and see the potential of every human being, start following magical principles, get book 4 and study that for a bit. But either way, mankind is going to wake up. Watch Spirit Science, watch everything. Just as a small sample size is all that you... The best thing about the human mind is the taboo. What is forbidden, because that's what creates real knowledge. What creates real knowledge is taboo nature. What is usually unacceptable to terms of other people. Watch as this blessed smoke comes up as I explain this. But taboo is always what makes your mind, makes your philosophy, makes you, makes it unlimited. Because if you think, oh, this is that way, this is that way, this is wrong, then you're never going to be able to go further. See, a lot of people do have bone fetishes. And what do I mean by that? Some people just love bones. People love human fingers, usually human skulls. Because a lot of people like to study the advantageous mind of the human symbiote. Okay? Not only that, but some people want to tap into the veil. Some people want to feel death for themselves, the veil of death. And that's what the ancient shamans did. To create oneself. And if you actually study craniometry, I know I said this before, but there was a psychologist or craniomologist involved with craniometry that had this idea that whether or not your skull is formed is based on your intelligence, and that was just flat out wrong. But having human skulls around, people always have it to study craniometry for themselves. And that is the best way for education, is to educate yourself on certain matters. And always educating upon yourself is the best thing you could ever do. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That's a beautiful saying, almost as beautiful as pen is mightier than sword. Because there's a lot of people that want to philosophize while the thing in the back, or whatever part of the bone that sticks out, or whatever part of the muscle, not the muscle, the skull, is dependent on the intelligence of the human being, that's okay to think about. It really is. In the study of the human skull, it's okay to think that. Just know that there's always going to be a teacher that will pull you aside and humbly, as a guru, say how wrong you are. Because it was a real... I can't remember the name. I've talked about this once or twice before, but I can't remember the name. It was some sort of quack... craniometry. But it was something else. It was something to do with how much it was like that, or how much whatever, depends on the intelligence of a specific individual. Or no, the personality traits of the individual, too. That is just false, and I know it was a huge thing, but, yeah. You can always study the skull, but you can never study the skull to figure out one's personality or one's intelligence, because a lot of people will go out and tell you you're wrong. And that's all I have to say about this subject. But modern science has confirmed that you cannot judge one's personality or personality traits or even their intelligence just by the design of the human skull. We are all made out of stardust. We are all made out of carbon, hydrogen, whatever. But you can't prove them wrong. Not only that, but cannot prove the laws of nature wrong. The 7 Hermetic principles, the law of vibration, the law of gender, you cannot prove those wrong either, because those are sacred vows to this earthly plane. And there's a rise in Hermetic training. There's a rise in Hermetic interest. And it is toppling along with craniometry. People are becoming smarter. And a long time ago, in order to fight intelligence, they had to create an inquisition. Not only that, but nowadays we have stuff like Scientology to say that there's stuff attached to your soul when there isn't, or that whatever. You can never always prove it right, but with Scientology, you can't prove that right. So, yeah. All of the answers to the human mind are right in here. And it can be studied. You can study it for yourself. Unlock the true potential of the human mind. And you can just get it started. Every single person can get it started. Because it all has to do with one's understanding of the nature of all nature. And that is the power of it all. So you understand basic things like psychology, philosophy, craniometry, then you are starting to disassemble everything and understand it all.